What's up, guys? We're here again. We've been getting lots of questions about advice, about what to do when waiting for a missionary. So here today, we've got 10 things for you that are gonna help you guys out when you are waiting for, or being waited upon. No, never mind, don't watch YouTube videos if you're a missionary.
These are just our 10 tips, our personal best ways to wait.
Keep in mind that these are things that have helped us out tremendously in the past, and they might not necessarily be for everyone.
Everyone has a different story, everyone has a different situation while waiting, why they're waiting, who they're waiting for. So these are just our tips and things that helped us get through those 2 years.
First thing that I think we should talk about, I think that's super important, is just honestly being honest with each other about your feelings, about what's going on. And obviously this is gonna be pretty controversial because a lot of people think, oh, he's a missionary, he needs to focus on the work, he needs to focus on what he's doing, so I don't wanna interfere with my personal stuff about how I'm feeling. But I disagree. I think that it's super important to be honest and tell them how you're feeling, what's going on, because what happens is when they don't and they're really vague about it and you're like, oh, that sounds really vague, I have no idea what's going on in your life. Then you end up thinking even more about it because you're like, why didn't she tell me things? What's going on back home?
And it's hard because there is a line, because I was always worried, and we were very upfront with each other, but I think it was hard being a missionary girlfriend, wondering how much is too much information, what I don't want to send him home, if there's like a family crisis going on with my family or something really personal. And so it is hard. I think one way to look at it is to be very upfront with each other. For example, hey, stuff is going on with my family, such and such is going on, just so it's just been kind of hard. If he wants more information, he'll ask for more information in the next email.
And obviously this is our opinion of what you should do and how I felt personally while I was on my mission.
Yeah, everyone's different.
Yeah. Going along on those same lines about how this is our opinion, don't put anyone else's opinion about something, about you waiting, above your own opinion. Everybody's situation is different. And the person that knows your relationship best with your missionary is you. There's a lot of people out there that their relationship didn't work out for whatever circumstance. And they think in their mind, oh, because it didn't work out for me, it's not gonna work out for anybody. And yes, some relationships don't work out, but that shouldn't sway you at all because it's not your relationship. You know your relationship. You know what you want. And so don't let anybody else affect that.
And who's to say that your relationship isn't the one that's gonna beat the odds, you know? Who's to say that your relationship isn't one that's not gonna work out and not end up in marriage and a family? In our case, we just kind of kept faith in our relationship and didn't worry what other people thought. And here we are today, married. I think it was the best decision I ever made, for sure, to wait for Luke. But like we said, everyone is different and everyone has a different situation.
Number 3 is a recorder. Christine and I actually use this Sony recorder.
And it was just one I think we got at Best Buy. It was maybe, what,
it was like
30?
30 bucks or something
$30.
like that. I think what I liked about it is that, like, we talked to each other and we were silly with each other for like emails and letters and things like that. But there's something super important about like hearing their voice.
It's very intimate. And there are sad ones on it as well, where I would be crying or he'd be crying. You just gotta say, hey, I miss you so much, I'm so proud of you, kind of stuff. And it means a lot to hear it. Not hearing each other's voices is hard. So getting a recorder is huge.
But what we would have done better is we would have bought 2 recorders that are a little more expensive, that you can put an SD card in. And that way, all you have to do is take the SD card and send that in a letter.
And you're sending letters, you can send letters any day, every day. And that way it's not costing you a crazy amount of money at the post office to send a package. Because no matter what, I had to send it in a package, and he would too if he wanted me to get it back. Number 4 on our list of how to wait for missionaries is to stay busy. Now obviously your missionary is busy. They're doing stuff every day, waking up early hours, meeting with people, talking with people, visiting with investigators. They're busy. So I think something that's really important is to just stay busy. I just took tons of classes. I was working full-time hours, and I'm not saying, you know, go crazy and completely burn yourself out, but I'm just saying find a happy medium of where you feel like, all right, I'm busy, I'm doing my own thing, I'm growing in my own way, I'm progressing in my own life. It makes the time go by faster. No matter how cheesy that sounds, it really does. Don't let time just stop. Don't have your life stop when a missionary leaves. Still do things and be social, and yeah, I think that's really, really important for sure.
So number 5 is personalizing your gifts. We always talk about how it's the thought that counts, and yeah, like back here in normal life, we kind of say that all the time, but on a mission, it's actually true. It's the thought that there's someone back home that loves you that really matters. They don't have to be expensive, especially if you live, if you guys are oceans apart.
And we
really
didn't have the money. Like, we were
things.
just like any other couple. We did not have the money to be sending lavish things to each other. So we just sent what we could when we could, which is usually Christmas, birthdays, Valentine's Day.
Going along these same lines is number 6, which is letters, which are the best gift ever, honestly. It means so much to a missionary to be able to come home and there's a letter in the post box. And it was just an amazing feeling to have something like that from Christine.
I have so many letters from Luke. Luke was such a devoted letter writer. We, if you've ever seen The Notebook, we were kind of doing the whole write a letter every single day, which was really, really hard, and Luke stuck with it. I had a much harder time with it, but Luke was able to stick with it. And people do not need to do that. We realize that is a lot of work to send a letter every day, and you are spending money on postage on the little stamps.
Yeah. We get a lot of questions about what you should put in letters. I think so. Number 7, we wanted to say, don't just talk about spiritual things. And again, this is another one of those controversial issues. Like, he's on a mission, he needs to be like 100% focused.
I think it just depends on your relationship. I would say how much I missed him and how much I loved him in my letters, because I knew how much it meant to him to hear that, and it meant so much to me, you know, because being a missionary girlfriend, it is hard. You feel really lonely, and it means a lot to hear your guy say that he loves you and that he misses you, and Luke would reciprocate that back. He would also send me letters saying how much he loved and missed me too.
I never wanted a single letter to display anything but that I still loved her, I still cared about her, I was still planning on being with her forever.
And that is huge. I don't think people realize how huge it is, but when you're alone after your missionary leaves, it's huge to hear him say that. And it gets you through, you know, the next week until you hear back from him again.
That goes along with number 8, which is simply constant communication. As a missionary, it is the worst feeling in the world to get to the library or to the computer on a P-Day and have 0 emails to read.
The nice thing is you can email whenever throughout the week. So I would email him on a hard day, I would email him on a great day, I would email him when I had news, I would email him whenever. And so he would actually get maybe 3 or 4 emails from me from different days throughout the week, which is a lot for him to read. So I don't know how that would work for everyone. I know that I took up a lot of his time.
And I was okay with
because of that.
She was the thing I looked forward to most on P-Days, was reading her letter. And then tell your missionary to get really close to one member who is good at emailing your family, because that was a huge help when I knew I wouldn't be emailing on Monday, but I can't get to a computer to tell them. And so I just have a member who has a computer to email her or my mom and just tell them, hey, they're not going to be having P-Day on Monday, it's going to be Tuesday instead. Because
I don't know, I stress out. I'm thinking, where is he? What's going on? Is there a natural disaster that happened? Like, why isn't he on the computer? So it's really nice for him to give you a heads up, and
for sure,
for other members if they can. Number 9 is being social with those who know your missionary, such as his families and friends. I would meet with his mom, we would have lunch, I would hang out with his friends, you know.
Yeah. And it meant a lot to me because I felt like she was developing relationships with people that I cared about, because this was a permanent thing. This was, it reinforced to me that she was waiting for me, which is just a good feeling to have.
Having a good relationship with the family, with the siblings, that'd be awesome. If Luke had a sister, I'd be hanging out with her all the time. I told people that I wished he had a sister while he was on his mission, but he doesn't. He just has brothers.
And the last thing we wanted to talk about is number 10, which is building a support group. And a very specific type of support group, a support group who actually agrees with what you're doing. Because there's a lot of friends out there, and maybe even family members, people that you're really close to, that might even disagree with you even waiting for a missionary.
A lot of people who do disagree are just trying to protect you. So yeah, it's important to keep that in mind and just know what's best for you. Meeting people through social media who are in the same boat is so important. And I think you support each other so much, and you understand each other in a way that other people don't.
So these are the 10 things that Christina and I either knew beforehand and were really helpful, learned in the process, or wished we would have known beforehand. But again, these are what we feel in our opinions, and don't feel like any of this stuff has to apply to you.
But if there's one thing you can take from this video, is that it's your relationship. Everyone's in a different situation. Everyone has a different scenario. And it really is between you and your missionary and God as well.
Thanks so much for watching our video, guys. We get a lot of questions about waiting for missionaries and a whole bunch of other stuff about relationships.
If there's anything we didn't go over that you would like to hear more about, or anything that we did talk about that you'd want to hear more information about, just let us know. But yeah.
We love you guys.
We love you guys. Mwah, mwah. All my virtual kisses.
Yeah, what she said.
All the virtual kisses. All right. Bye.